Annalisa Guerra began her career working in a fabric company that manufactured wool silk for men's clothing, which allowed her to come in contact with the most prestigious brands and main international designers in this field. Her career in the furniture industry started in 1983, when she joined a company producing furniture since 1945 in the Veneto region. She had the opportunity to learn the traditional techniques of woodworking, passed down from generation to generation by Venetian masters, and which constitute the distinct feature of furniture production in this area. Thanks to her experience in the fashion industry, Annalisa introduced new ideas, like combining wood with other materials, such as glass, leather, and metal, in order to deliver not only new and unique pieces of furniture, but also to build furniture with character. In 1995, she started a collaboration with a major manufacturer of luxury design furniture, which gave her the opportunity to work with the renowned international designers and to learn new techniques based on using new materials such as carbon fibers, perspex, and others. Building on these experiences, in 2006, Annalisa established her own company, Annie Claire. The success of Annie Claire led to a partnership with an important American company specialized in high-end custom furniture for hotels and villas. Today, Annie Claire is an internationally renowned company specialized in custom-made furniture, which boasts significant collaborations all over the world. Annie Claire pays great attention to customer spaces, designing and supplying turnkey custom-made furnishings for hotels, restaurants, and private residences. All the production is artisanal and meets the customer's needs with flexibility and professionalism, ensuring high-quality standards. Annie Claire pays attention to every detail from design to production, from delivery to installation, and after-sale assistance. Italian craftsmanship, a combination of tradition and continuous innovation and research, is a distinctive feature of Made in Italy. For us, producing quality furniture means craftsmanship and technology, but also attention to every detail: finishing, painting, measurement, fluidity, smoothness, and much more. In addition to this, the term quality is intended in a broader sense, as it does not only focus on the practical or physical side of furniture, but it's deeply based on customer service. So the success of Annie Claire, which produces 100% made in Italy furniture, also depends on its empathy with its clients. In the first stage of the production process, the design, the technical aspects are combined with the functional and creative ones. At this point, an important factor comes to the fore: creativity, which is based on innovation, design, uniqueness, and originality. That's the key to deliver unique high-quality international projects such as hotels, private residences, villas, restaurants, and many others. The creativity of our designers has no boundaries, and the company is a hub of new ideas and innovative techniques. When designing a furnishing element or setting, the designer completely frees creativity and imagination, without missing sight of the practicality and feasibility of the environment or of the piece of furniture the designer is working on. That's functionality meeting design. Annie Claire's task is therefore to deliver a project that's not only aesthetically pleasant, but also suitable for its location and purpose, optimized to overcome any potential risk of damage, bumps, scratches, wear and tear, weather, etc., able to fulfill all customers' wishes according to their budget. In the hospitality sector, for example, wood veneer, American walnut, oak, ash, etc., is the finishing used for some furnishings. Wood is a fine material, therefore subject to wear and tear, especially when it's largely used in public places such as hotels and restaurants. So it's necessary to protect wood-made furniture with specific finish against all possible wear and tear. An appreciated alternative to wood is laminate. Laminate, like wood veneer, is very resistant and less subject to wear and tear. For public places, it's highly recommended. For example, for the Hilton Hotel in Tel Aviv, an important project carried out in Israel in collaboration with Istanbul Metex Design Studio, we furnished the hotel rooms entirely in Phoenix. Phoenix is a valuable anti-fingerprint, soft-touch kind of laminate that can also be restored in case of superficial scratches. Boiserie, furniture of all kinds, kitchen tops and doors can be made with this innovative material. Another common challenge for us is to make two different materials such as wood and metal coexist in the same piece of furniture. Wood, as we said, is a fine and above all, living material. For this peculiarity, any type of wood will experience changes over time, depending on many factors such as weather conditions, humidity, heat, etc. In high humidity environments, wood will tend to expand its volume by absorbing water particles, so it will be necessary to choose the best type of wood for each environment and circumstances. It's also worth saying that regardless the circumstances, an organic material such as wood always tends to change its volume over time. To overcome this problem, we usually insert fixings or even metal cores to make it more stable. This was the main challenge that we faced during the renovation of the Hilton Hotel in Tel Aviv, and that we successfully overcame. For this project, we were asked to supply custom-made shaped bar furniture for suite rooms. These pieces of furniture were composed of laminate, metal and quartz in various parts, including the upper part of the exposed drawers. The core of the cabinet was made of wood, whereas all the profiles were made of painted metal with invisible screws. The remaining furniture surface was covered with Phoenix laminate. The top, on the other hand, was made of quartz, with rounded corners in perfect adherence to the piece of furniture. First of all, interfacing with Istanbul Metex Design Studio, we created a 1:1 scale sample to better understand the final result with all these different materials. In order to perfectly fit the metal components, we produced a shape of the curved drawers and calendared the iron steel row according to the curve along the radius of the wooden drawer. To make all screws invisible and fix the metal components into the wooden cabinet, we made studs on the iron parts, which were inserted into the wood in various points of drawer and therefore of the cabinet. By doing this, we avoided the risk of wood moving, as the metal components were well anchored to the wood and could keep it fixed. We then painted the metal components with a finishing chosen by the architect and covered the cabinet with laminate. The quartz top followed the same process. A wooden shape was made and the quartz was faithfully reproduced based on the wooden shape. In contract furniture, time is a very important, indeed fundamental aspect. So vital that sometimes a project is assigned on the basis of the proposed time scale. However, it must be taken into account that this factor is also extremely important for the furnishing production cycle. Veneer boiserie, lacquer furniture, capitonné sofas, metal handles made with a particular finish require a specific production cycle that must be strictly followed in order to achieve an excellent final result. Lacquered furniture, for example, requires up to 5 coats of paint. Metal finishes, obtained through the galvanizing process, take several days for the correct procedure to be followed. The real challenge is to combine all of this to ensure the final delivery of the project within the time scale. All the steps must be respected. All of this is essential to ensure that all the furnishing elements maintain the high quality standards typical of Made in Italy. A few years ago, we furnished 140 suites for a hotel in Beverly Hills in the USA. The time factor was essential, as the opening date of the hotel had already been scheduled and could not be postponed. Each day of delay would have led the hotel to significant economic loss. The supply agreement was therefore mainly based on delivering the project before the opening date and making sure that the furnishings of the 140 rooms and public areas were completed and properly installed. It was challenging because of the tight timescale and the complexity of the project. Just one piece of furniture in the suites, for example, required the work of 6 craftsmen, including a carpenter, a locksmith, and a decorator. The secret to save time is the perfect synchronization between the parties involved, which must lead to the perfection of the final result as pieces of a gear. Of course, the unexpected is not missing. A match of wrong leather, a knock finishing. Italian craftsmanship is also this, knowing how to overcome seemingly insurmountable problems, turning them into strength points both from an aesthetic and quality point of view. In fact, at Eclair, we take advantage of the difficulties to keep improving, showing our customers the material samples in order to let them gain appreciation of the materials and fabric that will be used is very important before starting the production cycle. For materials such as wood combined with metal, or furniture covered in leather assembled with natural stones, such as marble, or artificial ones, such as quartz, it's paramount to produce samples before building furniture in order to have a clear idea, a sneak peek of the final product, or to offer alternative solutions to achieve the desired result. For sampling, however, we don't mean only this. In some projects, before starting with the overall furniture supply, a mock room is required. Most often it's a suite, a hotel room, or a bar counter. The mock-up is useful for the final customer or the architect to get a preview of how the spaces will be furnished and if all the pieces will be in harmony with each other. It often happens that there are adjustments to be made, especially on a technical functional level, leather decoration, wooden profiles, metal frames, hardware, etc. For a hotel in New York, we were asked to use an innovative and somewhat unusual material, moonwool. Produced only in Japan, from where we specifically received samples, it's a silver-colored metal with a wood grain effect. We applied moonwool to MDF panels to create boiserie with a completely original finish. Once the initial phase has been defined, the most intense and fascinating step of a project starts, the production cycle. Production is the stage where you can see the Italian craftsmanship at its best. A real show with chisels, rotating blades, hammers and screwdrivers. The actors of this process, the artisans, move confidently between one piece of furniture under construction to another. The sawdust flies on their work clothes, and the surgical cuts and skilled workmanship of our craftsmen create a real pieces of furniture from simple wooden or agglomerate panels. I would highly recommend everyone to go and see how pieces of furniture are made at least once in a lifetime. The unmistakable scent of wood will accompany you throughout an unforgettable journey. During this process, Eclair carefully follows all the required steps, from the sectioning of the wooden panels to the edging, from the application of the holes to the veneering of wood or laminate sheets. We then move on to gluing and assembly. This last phase also includes hardware application, a very important step in the furniture production cycle. In some cases, hardware can be supplied with particular finish, such as bronze effect. A good sliding guide or quality hinges allow a long-lasting use of the furniture, and it's essential not to neglect this aspect. For Eclair, it's very important to use reliable brands which ensure reliability and durability. The processed materials must comply with the regulations of the countries where they will be installed. For the United States of America, for example, the MDF, acronym for Medium Density Fiberboard Wood Agglomerate, must be CARB certified. For other countries, it must have a very low level of formaldehyde emissions almost equal to zero. These parameters must be strictly respected, otherwise there is a risk that the shipped goods will not be cleared at the custom, and you may be fined for not complying to international legislations. When we export to America or Israel, for example, we always send all the documentation to the courier one day before shipment, so to be sure all documents are in order. Shortly before shipping goods, Annie Claire tests all the furnishings in the carpentry workshop to check the last details and make the work of the installers on site as smooth as possible. Usually we also test the hardware, opening doors to check the functionality of the hinges, and we do the same with the drawers to verify the smoothness and slow down in closing, the so-called soft closing. The testing stage of the furniture process is often the favorite one by the architects we work with, because we give them the opportunity to see the finished products in person and make their own evaluation. This happens not only a few days before shipment, but also during the whole production process. A year ago, for example, we produced unique armchairs with shaped backrests with a leather upholstery on them that, following the architect's recommendation, had to be perfectly adherent to the backrest surface. If applied to the shaped or curved surface, leather tends not to adhere perfectly, forming the so-called wrinkles. To solve this issue, we used an electric tool that blows a jet of hot air on the leather. The heat generated enabled the leather to expand and adhere perfectly to the curved surface to be covered. The architect who was present during this phase was positively surprised. Making another example, for a private residence in Miami, the architect designed 3 ceiling chandeliers composed of metal with a galvanic finish. From a sketch by the designer, we started creating a square-shaped cages in wrought iron, on which temporary electrical wires and a light bulb inside an opal glass bulb were installed. The architect was present during the various phases of this process, making the necessary technical and aesthetic changes up to the final result, which was temporarily installed in our company for the last careful analysis before proceeding with the packaging. Of course, all electrical cables had been UL certified in accordance with US regulations. Installation is another important aspect, and it always makes a difference. Our installers are not just mere assembly workers, but experienced and skilled craftsmen who are able to install any type of furniture directly on site anywhere in the world. Installers play a very important role in our job, and it's a profession that is increasingly in demand. A skill that our installers possesses is undoubtedly flexibility. As already said, it's extremely important for the installers to be able to perfectly install furniture on site, but at the same time they are capable of making changes in progress if and when needed. Quite often changes, last-minute tweaks, problems caused by external factors happen on the construction site. Our customers and architects are always fascinated by the work of our installers, by their extremely simple but effective way of dealing with all inconveniences and problems arising on the construction site. Thanks to their passion, great interpersonal and communication skills, they easily relate with the other technicians present on site, and they are capable of communicating and making them understood in every corner of the world. We recently supplied 100 kitchens in UK. Our customer insisted on having his own assembly team instead of ours because of his tight budget. Unfortunately, the result was a disaster. Damaged furniture, manually cut on site with saws, wall units installed in the wrong place, etc. People say you learn by making mistakes, and our customer admitted he had learned the lesson and understood the value that professional installers can bring to projects like his. He asked us to send our installers to fix all problems and finish the job properly. That was exactly what we did. We also sent touch-ups from Italy, and in a short period of time everything was completed, and the customer was fascinated by our craftsman's ability and problem-solving skill. In addition, he was particularly impressed by the proactive attitude in facing technical problems, something that shouldn't be taken for granted. Problems can be overwhelming, but the installation process must be like a river in flood that sweeps away all problems and issues, leaving room just for an excellent job. Last but not least is the post-sale assistance stage. The primary goal is to give the final customer the maximum peace of mind throughout the whole project, ensuring that once the work is finished, everything is installed and arranged in a workmanlike manner. Offering excellent customer assistance before, during and after the project is very important for any eclair. About a year after completing a hotel in New York, the hotel manager contacted us. He was worried because some stains had appeared on the metal bases we had supplied for the hotel suites. He confirmed that although he tried to clean them away, the stains remained. Within a couple of days, we sent 2 of our installers to New York. Once they arrived, with no surprise, they found out that the cleaning staff was cleaning the rooms with the wrong products, which had created a sort of reaction on the chrome metal, forming stains that didn't seem to go away with simple stain removers. Already equipped with the appropriate product to clean that kind of halos, the problem was solved on the same day. Our installers had brought with them a kit of the right products, confident that they could help, and gave tips to the staff on how cleaning of all the furnishings correctly. The after-sale service is essential, and it's as important as the project itself. There will be many other things to say in this masterclass. The world of contract is a universe to be discovered. There's always something new, a more advanced technique, new materials to experiment with, and new projects to delve into. We are here, ready to take new projects and challenges on board with the passion, enthusiasm and professionalism that distinguish us. I invite you to visit our website anneclair.cn or anneclair.it/en. Thank you very much for watching this video. I look forward to hearing from you soon.